Imagine you are an island nation and your enemy is a giant and it has sent over 200 fighter jets and battleships at your border. How would that make you feel? This is exactly what is happening between China and Taiwan. China calls this military exercise as Justice Mission 2025. But when it comes to Taiwan, obviously it is worried. In the next few minutes, let us understand what is exactly happening between China and Taiwan. Two countries, two types of points of views. China thinks of this as a strategic issue. As long as Taiwan is not merged into China, the dream of Chinese Communist Party of the great reunification of China remains incomplete. And China also sees Taiwan as a barrier to access for the deep Pacific Ocean. But Taiwan, as you know, is a democracy. So Taiwan is worried about its democratic survival and also its political autonomy. And as you know, about the technological prowess of Taiwan as it manufactures semiconductor chips, Taiwan is also worried about its technological leadership and its economic security. Taiwan sits right at the heart of the first chain of islands of China, ranging from Japan right to the Southeast Asia. So what are the strategic implications of all this? So China gains unlimited access to the South China Sea, that is one. The loss of Taiwan shifts the Indo-Pacific balance in China's favor, and it directly impacts India's maritime security. So how does China intend on doing that? In the recent years, we have seen a shift in China's approach. It has shifted from a silent deterrence to direct coercion. It uses a strategy called as gray zone warfare. The actions of gray zone warfare operate in such a way that if war happens at this level, gray zone warfare happens at a level just below that. It is used to exhaust the opponent and to intimidate them. And the second is what China does even with us right at the LAC. The name of that is salami slicing. What salami slicing is basically China gets into the enemy's terrain, gets into its neighbor's terrain inch by inch, little bit, so that it intimidates them and takes over areas over a period of time instead of making advancements in leaps. And finally, psychological conditioning. China wants Taiwan to be used to all this excessive military action, and it wants to normalize all this pressure and look at the coercion with utmost normalcy. China has shifted its focus from invasion to economic strangulation, because let's face it, what is the point of invasion if you can't control a territory? How is China doing that? By denying access to Taiwan's allies, such as the United States of America and Japan. And it is also targeting Taiwan's energy needs, because Taiwan is dependent 90% on its imports for energy. And this blockades force the political establishment within Taiwan to surrender completely without a full-blown typical conventional war. So what is the economic impact on India in case China decides to invade Taiwan? First of all, Taiwan produces 60% of global chips and 90% of advanced chips. So in case of Taiwan getting invaded, we are going to face a slowdown in the auto and tech industry, and we are going to see inflationary pressure because the number of chips available in the market is going to be limited, but the competitors such as mobile manufacturing companies, automobile manufacturing companies, and all the other tech companies are going to compete for the limited chips available, and that is going to drive up the price. And we're going to see a disruption in AI and digital infrastructure as well. So how is India planning to tackle this? By Semicon India mission. India has announced a seed money of 76,000 crores to build indigenous semiconductor chips. And how will this impact the security situation for India? First of all, the successful coercion of Taiwan will embolden China's resolve, and it will further intensify the pressure across LAC. And India depends on territorial integrity. So the successful coercion of Taiwan by China will weaken the global resolve across this issue. And the maritime security also faces significant risk because it increases the insurance costs and supply risks for Indian trade in the Indo-Pacific region. So what are the key takeaways here? China's Taiwan strategy marks a significant shift from deterrence to compellence, and it is using gray zone tactics and economic pressure, which poses a significant strategic, economic and normative challenge for India. So how is India tackling this? By using strategic autonomy, by not picking sides between countries, and by working for tech self-reliance such as the Semicon India mission. Thank you for watching.